especially speaking to Kogi State, and in particular, the state of politics over there. As you know, a number of major and popular politicians are there. One of which has been referred to as the landlord. He's a two-term member of the House of Representatives, and of late there have been, creative headlines along the lines of have the tenants evicted the landlord? Indeed. Luckily for us, our guest this morning is also a journalist, and in the person of Bashiru Abdul Muhammad. He's special advisor on public communications to Honorable Elder Leke Joseph Abejide. And thank you very much for coming to the studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you, Uncle Yori, for having me from the Lagos studio.
Sorry, sir. Yes. Go on. I was grateful that you are here to help us shed light on, this political situation. What's going on with, a person such as Elder, Abejide, the Honorable Elder Abejide, and the report is that he's been expelled from the party for a series of, what is it now? A series of non-party, activities. And even worse, it is alleged that members of this group have actually written to the Honorable Speaker to declare his Yagba state, his Yagba seat vacant. All of this doesn't seem like very good news, and it doesn't look as if things have remained the way they have been for a long while, when the Honorable Elder was referred to as, in a positive way, as the landlord. Now, the question is being asked, have the tenants, have they expelled the landlord? Over to you, sir, Mr. Muhammad.
Thank you so much. Well, this is very apt and most timely to having me. Quickly, before I respond to what is on ground, it is quite very timely and very conscious. I correct a statement which I know you are not unaware of from one former Senator Dino Melaye that was very derogatory against the person of our national leader, Elder Leke Joseph Abejide. It is worrisomely regrettable that when one lacks morals and lacks regards for culture, such a person constitutes menace in a society. And as such, they become socially deviant in the public palace. Well, it is on this ground that if somebody becomes socially deviant, they are to be confined to two facilities. Either of these two facilities, a psychiatric facility or an isolated residential facility. That Dino Melaye, whom I refer to be suffering from what I call malfunctioning cognitive disorder by becoming a chronic embarrassment to common sense. Excuse me, whose reasoning faculty runs on an expired software. By all standards of life, former Senator Dino Melaye cannot be equated to our very respected, well-behaved, and cultured national leader of the ADC and a performing rep member, our principal, Right Honorable Leke Joseph Abejide. This program, we're going to be a medium for me to telling you and the world who Honorable Leke Abejide is, was entrepreneurially and academically before sojourning into politics. Right Honorable Leke Abejide is a man who has been innately gifted to speak at the pace and speed he speaks on public functions. Not just because that translates to dumbness, neither grammatical deficiency. I want to tell you this, that he has been an exceptional student, an administrator, all his life who has come first positions at all classes and all levels of education, which he has had in the past. His performances academically can be proven and also traced to his most recent institution, the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where the Honorable came out as one of the top best graduates from a very tedious Department of Economics, class 99. And I want to tell you, his records are there. Very coincidentally, in that same university, that Dino Melaye also claimed to have graduated from. I think as journalists, having me on this program, I want you to invoke sections 467 of the FOI Act 2011. Demands the academic history and performance. Let's compare notes to find out who is the dullard. Let's compare notes and see who was almost rusticated. Let's compare notes to see who was almost awarded a certificate of attendance, except for the institution Senate intervention. We want to also compare notes to see who is intelligently parochial.
Okay.
Having said this.
Yes, thank you. I hope that's the end of that. I hope that's the end of that. You did say that
one minute. I am well guided, please.
Has been rude. The senator has been rude, and I think you got your pound of flesh. But could we now please move on to the subject matter of politics in Kogi?
I am well guided. Just 1 minute. Entrepreneurially, Honorable Leke Abejide has been a serial entrepreneur, has been a successful businessman, an astute industrialist, who has worked severally all his life, contributing to the growth of the nation. This is a man who has worked with Turkish international organizations, multinational organizations, before his most recent organization, known as the IBM Diva International, where he left as a managing director to sojourn into politics and governance. This is a man that his company has been recognized severally by APM Terminals in collaboration with West Africa Container Terminals Association. And I want to tell you this, that this is a man that has his investment all over the places in the city. This is a man who has done so much in governance, in academics and entrepreneur, compared to whoever Dino Melaye will be, whoever he was, and he is at the moment. It can never come closer to him. Thank you.
Okay. So moving on to the real subject matter of today. It's important. Yes. What you've just said is important. Yes. You know, you got your pound of flesh. Senator Dino Melaye, you know, locally, you're a senator for life. Just like generals are generals for life. He reportedly has been quite rude, and I think you've dealt with that decisively. Now, talking about serially,
thank you.
How about the charge that your man has been a serial committer of acts of indiscipline against the party, the ADC, which led to his expulsion from the party?
Thank you. Firstly, I need to correct an assertion, a misinformation from your question. Our leader, the national leader of the ADC, hasn't been expelled from the party. Get that correctly before I proceed. Nobody can expel Right Honorable Leke Abejide. This is a man who remained as the national leader of the party. This is a man who has committed all his time to the constitution of the party. This is a man who has committed his tenets and objectivity to bringing up the party. What is the constitution of our party? When the chairman resigns, the deputy takes over. We are in line with the constitutional stipulations as enshrined in the constitution of the party that Leke Abejide remain the national leader and Nafiu Bala are national chairman. And I want to tell you this today on air, that the likes of Dino Melaye and others who has mispresented an information on the public space that Leke Abejide was erroneously disqualified is not just satanic but fallacious. And I refer to his likes as the co-travelers and usurpers in the ADC. What I mean by usurpers are people who are holding power illegitimately and temporarily. So I want to tell you this. Having this from me with the authority of my leader, you shall not hear from any other person but what I'm telling you. Leke is not expelled. The party remains very tactically. The state leadership of the party is recognized and centers around the leadership of Honorable Chief Sunday Meyaki and Mama Nakpena as the state secretary respectively. And the position of Honorable Leke Abejide stands from now till tomorrow and forever until the litigations, well, we have some litigation challenging the manners of takeover of the coalition. That's an encroachment constitutionally. That is already in the court, which I'm not going to talk about that. I want to tell you this. As far as the judgment comes and processes are concluded, we are going to do what we need to do nationally, conventionally, to take the structure of our party. And let me tell you this also. ADC has no faction. Authoritatively, unequivocally, and unambiguously, I put this to you that the authentic ADC of the state remain those I have mentioned, and authentic national leader remain Honorable Leke Abejide, authentic national chairman remain Nafiu Bala. Thank you.
How do you explain the National Working Committee of ADC ratifying the earlier expulsion of the Kogi federal lawmaker, Representative Abejide, and this act was endorsing an earlier decision of the state chapter, of the party, which was reportedly, allegedly, if you want, for serial acts of indiscipline and anti-party activities.
Let me tell you this. What we had was not ADC National Working Committee.
I see.
I refer to them as the Coalition National Working Committee. They don't have a party. They are not members of the ADC. We don't recognize them. The constitution of the party does not recognize them. So who is not recognized? How can you take a decision for the party? At the moment and for the interim, you can say the National Working Committee of the Coalition Party, if there's anything of such. You understand? Who is legitimately holding power? It's Honorable Leke Joseph Abejide, the national leader, a very respected, well-cultured, well-mannered national leader, and that of Nafiu Bala. Those are people we know. And also, I beg to put you very correctly that at the moment, if not until the litigations and process of the court is completed, we don't have ADC that is functioning on a national level and National Working Committee to have suspended Leke. There's nothing of such existing. And I'm telling you this very categorically clear again. Down to the extension of the states, what we also had is nothing but also a wing of the coalitions in the states. ADC in the states is Honorable Chief Meyaki Sunday. That is the chairman. And the secretary is Honorable Mama Nakpena. And the national leader, as it stands today, is Right Honorable Leke Joseph Abejide. Until court judgment is pronounced, there is no National Working Committee of ADC. National Working Committee of the coalition will be more appropriate, please, for this program. Thank you.
So where has a seeming confusion come from? By which I mean, I think it's on record, and I'm very happy that you're here. You can correct me. Honorable Elder Abejide is reported to, have endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the next election. I don't know if that was done in his own capacity. I'm guessing perhaps it would. But it is also felt that ADC, that Honorable Abejide, you've just explained, is still gidigba on ground, to paraphrase slightly former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He's still on ground within the ADC. So how does that work out? If the party reportedly, is going to be fielding someone else from within its folds, is it not going to be something of let me borrow a street term, katakata, for somebody within the party to now say he indeed is endorsing the president, much as that might be music to the ears of anybody who is in the president's party?
Well, I want to react to this as well. For the umpteen times, our leader, Right Honorable Leke Abejide, has not hidden his passion and love for His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he has a good plan for the party.
Which members of the party say is anti-party? Which members of your party say is anti-party?
Which member of which party? Which member of which party? Is it the coalition party, if there's anything of such? ADC is in Abejide. Abejide is the ADC. Is the landlord. As it stands now, I still have you to be corrected. Until court verdict is pronounced, we don't have any other National Working Committee, any other party member, aside from Leke Abejide and Nafi Ubala. Any other people you see are usurpers. I call them the usurpers who are illegitimately holding power for the temporarily. When court verdict comes in their favor, then afterwards we can have another debate to ensure, then you can refer to them as members of the party. We are standing by the constitution that when the chairman resigns, the deputy takes over. Our chairman resigned, our deputy has taken over, and our national leader has taken over. So whatever I'm telling you today is not out of contest. It's out of constitutional backstop, out of constitutional levity and constitutional privileges. Now, the party where he is the national leader came on an agreement and a consensus that, look, our party is yet to produce a president. We are not yet buoyant. Let's not have our vote wasted. And his penchant for the president has been seen all over. He has so much passion. He has so much love. He has so much continuation for Mr. President, His Excellency. And he said, okay, look, for him to continue the renewed hope agenda, we shouldn't waste our votes in the party. We're going to collapse structure in due time for the re-election of the president. He's the highest organ of the party. He's the national leader. So who dare challenges him? Until court talks otherwise, nobody takes anything from Leke Abejide in that party. Every other people you see are jokers, like I said, usurpers, sojourners.
Well. You took offense when somebody took license with language in relation to your principle. Here you are doing almost the same thing.
Take that again, please.
I say you took offense when, it was reported that Senator Dino Melaye, was loose with his language.
Former Senator Dino Melaye.
Okay. But you took offense when you thought that he had been quite loose with his words to the detriment of your principle. But you've been almost guilty of the same. You just wiped out a whole set of people who are politicians as well with the language that you just used yourself.
Can you take that again, please?
Okay, let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let me go to the other question, which is that I'm interested in to glean from you where this leaves politics in Kogi State. This will be an interpretation of yours, but I would really like to hear it. What do you think this says about the state of politics in Kogi State, and what can we look forward to politically coming out of Kogi?
Coming out of Kogi, are you talking in a general context or limiting it to coming out of Kogi in the ADC contest?
Well, I imagine that Leke Abejide is interested in more, apart from the national, sphere. He is interested in the politics in Kogi State. He's interested in the politics in Kogi State. So where does all of this now leave his stance? I use the euphemism of landlord and tenants, and a slight. It is you editors yourself that came up with those creative headlines, and that's. So what does this now say about the state of politics in Kogi State?
Well, the state of politics in Kogi State, Leke Abejide has never been anti-government. He has his support for the state government to doing what is right. This is a man who has been charging the governor and the government of the state. He commends them where it's needful and charges the governor to do exactly where it is needed. He's a well-behaved leader. I think he has no issue with the current administration of the state, but perhaps he's only calling them where their attention is needed to correcting some anomalies, most especially in areas of emerging insecurity, particularly becoming concerning to that of the Western Senatorial District, and some other issues bordering on the state development. I think Honorable Leke Abejide calls frequently. He's a friend to the governor, to doing the needful, and not just for his constituent, to eliminating insecurity from the entire of the state. And also, particularly framing it back to the context, the state of affairs of the ADC in Kogi. I keep hammering on this. Right Honorable Leke Abejide, undisputed and indispensably, is the national leader of the party. As I speak to you, whoever queues behind one former expelled chairman, Kingsley somebody, or whoever queues behind former Senator Dino Melaye are time wasters. ADC is not available for them to hijack. They can return back to their PDP, they can return back to ABGA, they can go back to wherever they are and take hold of the structure. We don't condone indiscipline. These guys are continuous content creators. I thank God that their leader, former Senator Dino Melaye, has just passed his auditioning with the Nigerian Nollywood. He should be confined to Asabawood or Nollywood. In ADC in Kogi, Leke Abejide is on ground. This is a man who won 2 House of Reps election twice. Under ADC, when no one knew the party. Winning an election twice, House of Reps election twice, is not easy. Winning it under a party nobody knew about shows that Leke Abejide is on ground. As I speak to you, Leke Abejide has done so much beyond his constituents. Should I list them? Not limited to. This is a man who has been constantly registering free WAEC for the people of Okun and Yagba people before sojourning into politics. This is a man
Yagba is his federal constituency. Yagba is the
Yagba is his federal constituency. But by his kinds of philanthropical gesture, he extends these things beyond Yagba, immediate constituency. This is a man who has initiative for women, initiative empowering the women in Yagba and even in Okuland. This is a man who rolls out hundreds of millions non-interest loan for Okun and Yagba women business people. This is a man who has facilitated constructions and repairs of asphalt roads. This is a man who is on ground, who has brought installations, continuous installation of electricity to the people. This is a man who has facilitated jobs for Okun sons and daughters in federal government agencies and MDAs. This is a man who has donated SUVs to party chieftains and traditional rulers that are deemed appropriate to having mobility. This is also a man who has so many Okun daughters employable and working with IBM Device International Limited, his immediate company where he left to sojourn into politics. As I speak to you, Honorable Leke Abejide is on ground, fully on ground. I told you earlier that the pace and the level at which Honorable Leke Abejide speaks is an innate talent. Nobody should mistake that for grammatical deficiency or dumbness. Okay. He has so much machineries, arsenals that are beyond me to attend to whoever is misbehaving in the public. That is why I told you during my during my opening speech, that look, whoever becomes socially deviant, that gathers people to insult people, are to be confined to either of these two facilities. And I'm referring categorically clear to former Senator Dino Melaye. He should be either confined to a psychiatric facility or to be taken to an isolated residential facility. That is where he belongs. And I want to tell you this. Why
isn't this being personal?
It's because
aren't you being personal against Senator Dino Melaye?
How do you respect a man who has another home? Are you getting my point now? Former Senator Dino Melaye has crossed the border, and I want to tell you this, having given you all the objectives surrounding the ADC state, I want to hammer back at him. He does not have a home, and he cannot respect who is a head of another home. That is available. If they want to take over ADC, he should tell his co-usurpers to go back to PDP. There is no way in ADC or any letter transmitted to Right Honorable Speaker Tajuddin Abbas requesting for his seat to be declared vacant is null and void upon receipt. Those people who transmitted that letter should get themselves cognizance and get themselves familiar to the sections of the Constitution that stipulate what it takes to have a legislator's seat declared vacant. There's nothing in the state. We are living peacefully. As soon as court judgment comes to our favor, we shall proceed for our convention, and we shall have ADC formalized to working for His Excellency, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Okay, which is perhaps one of the real issues that led. But you said, Elder Honorable Abejide, he's passionate about Mr. President's achievements and his politics and his leadership. Personally, that's him, and he doesn't owe anybody an apology. This has not gone down well with some co-travelers of his in the ADC. Hence, they say that this man, if you are not for us, then you can't be with us. We can't have an quote-unquote political enemy within. That seems to have been the crux of the matter. And, well, you've spoken about Senator Dino Melaye quite, copiously. He's a man that, his colorful speech is known, but you said beyond color, he was rude to your principal. And I think you've given a fair measure back.
I'm sorry to interject you. What was colorful in a derogatory statement? Dino has never been brilliant. That's why I'm challenging you as a journalist. Bring me back on this program. Invoke sections 456 of the FOI Act that gives you freedom of information to A.B. Zaria. Demand the academic history of Honorable Leke Abejide, class 99, and Dino Melaye from one department called Geography of class 2000. Let's have their performances compared. Let's see who is the dullard, who is academically deficient. There is nothing colorful in the statement of Dino Melaye. His issue should be taken seriously. But for the sake of emphasis, we want to compare notes. Let's see who is the dullard. Do that and give us an audience. And we shall know. He had a colorful speech. When a man had lack regards for culture, do you call that colorful?
Okay,
when
all
a man insults people, do you call that colorful? When a man insults somebody who is the head of a home, because he does not have a home, he does not know the value of another man's head in his home, no, don't call that colorful. Let's go to the subject of the day. That is a less matter to be discussed on National Daily.
All right.
Please, let's talk what is on.
Mazi Okoroafo, thank you for holding on. Go ahead now, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mazi.
We have seen now in Nigeria that when somebody climbs up, they remove the ladder. They don't even care. But what I should advise our elders, whether a former senator or current senator, we have a lot to do. Like we saw what happened yesterday between Leto-Simole and Ndume. Is that supposed to happen the way it's supposed to be? There must be a decorum. Anything we do in the public, we should not bring anything that has to do with us outside into the system, into the public gallery. At the end of the day, you now educate the young ones that they are, when you do anything with anybody, just with anytime you have an opportunity, it's not healthy. Because it's what we call a man. A man is not somebody when you have a half body, just move a big body. No. A man is somebody who has what we call wisdom. Whenever you are doing, when you have the utterance, whenever you are talking, it's just like a program we offer today. There are times that when people want to direct, that is because you are monitoring what they are saying, you are monitoring what they are saying. That is what then the people that will just apologize, which means it was not an intentional act from that person who was trying to deviate from what they did. That is why I simply spoke. Unless in this country, the politicians take politics as education, not as an occupation. As long as they are taking it as an occupation, they are just to generate.
Okay.
We should keep it aside. We shouldn't bring it into the system. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo, for also for keeping it brief. Offense has been given, it has been taken, and now some of it is being given back. We cannot pronounce any judgment. Politicians come in different hues and colors. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you about the Right Honorable Malema of the South African Parliament. They just come in all hues, mostly operating under the cover of privilege. That they have the privilege to speak. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, and all of that. But as you did say earlier, we do and as Mazi Okoroafo has just said, we do expect decorum from our elders, where they happen to be elders of a substantial number of people. And Mazi.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira would be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green, vibrant gardens, parks, and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15.
Time is done, but I want to be sure that if there's something in there that you want to put out, we are giving you the opportunity to do so. When you said, let me react to that, I wondered what you wanted to react to. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have nothing much to react to, but what I want to say is this. I wanted to roll out the effort of Honorable Leke Abejide being 100% local content. That is correct.
Okay.
Policy itself is local. Honorable Leke Abejide is localized in the game, and that is why he's on ground. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really do appreciate your coming on the program this morning, and you've, adjusted the landscape. You've adjusted the landscape, made some, statements yourself, and people will now take this, put it next to what they heard. All you need to do is ask, and I'm sure we'll be obliging. Okay, we'll take a break now, but do please stay with us. We have another subject matter to talk about. Chief Sunday Odunton, CEO, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, will be with us in the studio. Do stay with us, please.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira would be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green, vibrant gardens, parks, and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. State category will have all states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House, Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
Okay, welcome back. And my guest this time is Chief Sunday Odunton. He's the CEO, ANED. ANED is the Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors. A fine morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for coming on. So, the power sector, it's a perennial subject. It's top of everybody's mind in the country. However, it faces its struggles. Nevertheless, I think you have also said before on our program, quite a number of times, that there are prospects if things are done rightly. What are the main challenges that confront us today? I know you won't be bored with telling us again, even though you've had reason to talk about this in the past.
Thank you very much. The environment within which we operate requires continuous education, continuous enlightenment. People need to understand their roles and responsibility. There's need for more communication between us and our customers. Sometimes, yes, we may drop the ball on some occasions. We're also mindful of the fact that customer is king, and we try our best to get our customer to understand what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. But it's a huge problem when sometimes customers want it this way, mm-hmm. we want it that way, mm-hmm. and at the end of the day, it becomes an issue as to how best to deal with. But for us, the most important thing is that Nigerians want power. They want uninterrupted electricity, but even though that comes at a cost. Mm-hmm. We also want Nigerians to understand that anytime you want to, if you buy a property and that property is in somebody else's name, and then you need to change to your name, we have a responsibility to ensure that the transition happens smoothly. A recent case in point is where one of our customers, a good customer, who had a very big hotel somewhere in Abule Egba and decided to stop the hotel business. He wanted to convert it to a residential building. Now, to convert the hotel into apartments, you need to compartmentalize, you need to divide it mm-hmm. physically, openly, in a way that it will be easy to see them as separate apartments. Then they will be metered separately. That led to some kind of disagreement between the customer and Ikeja Electric. It led to report being made to Federal Consumer Protection and NEC, to the extent that the Consumer Protection also came to seal or attempted to seal Ikeja Electric headquarters yesterday. Now, the implication of this is if you seal a whole headquarters of a disco, mm-hmm. as they wanted to do yesterday, mm-hmm. what you have done is you have denied the whole of Lagos State electricity. Half of Lagos State will be dark. Again, we welcome dialogue, and we have reached out to the customer, who is well known to me, a brother, a good person, to also explain to the customer what he needs to do to position things and get things in order for us to also play our own role. We also admit that customer is king. Even when your customer is wrong, we still have to find a way to persuade the customer and get them to understand things. Issue of metering is also a major problem.
So, sorry, sir, I know, but let me just, I think I can say that financial and revenue issues plague ANED.
Yes.
And this I am guessing will somehow be connected with infrastructural issues within ANID. Could you explain that a bit? Because I'm sure these things I have asked are embedded in the answers you gave when we're talking about it.
The major problem with Nigerian power sector is liquidity crisis. We were at the House of Rep 2 days ago, an ad hoc committee that was seeking to probe the power sector from 2007 to 2024, even though we came on board in November 2013. But around the whole subject matter is the issue of liquidity, the issue of investment. Investment is also driven by cost recovery. If you are not able to recover your cost, if you invest, say, 100,000 naira into a business and that money disappears, how can you go and get another investment of 200 or more to put in the same business?
And that simplistic example, really, it seems to be the whole crux of the matter. Infrastructural deficit is in there. Insufficient grid capacity is in there. And it goes on and on and on. Yet you have to keep on functioning. It's almost, I would guess, that it's seen as something of a thankless job because people have been used to having power, especially erroneously thinking of it as free. Now.
I'll give you 2 examples. We have a non-payment culture in this country, culture of non-payment. There's a community in Ikotekpeme in Akwa Ibom State. They are owing Port Harcourt Disco, owing us billions. As I speak, a whole community, they are not paying for power, and they were very violent. They refused to be disconnected. The reason they gave was that the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, facilities, their big transformer, is located on their ancestral land. But we are distributors. Now transmission has offended you. They paid for the land. It's not as if it is free, or maybe they are paying rent. But you say, it is our right to have free light. That is going on there. In Lagos State here, under Eko, there's an Obada community in Agbara here in Lagos. As of yesterday morning, they are owing Eko Disco 91.2 million naira debt.
Oh,
they refuse to
million
pay.
naira.
I was afraid. Million, no?
I was afraid. I thought you were going to say billion.
But that 91 million by that community, or by that community in Agbara, Badagry area, that debt they refuse to pay, and they are insisting yesterday morning that they should be reconnected. They should continue to enjoy electricity. So
what does ANID do with that? You said, among other things, with these marketing maxims, the customer is always right. We accept that principle, but still.
What we do is continuous, relentless customer engagement. I went to Ikotekpeme in Akwa Ibom State. But there's a sense of entitlement. So it's something, and that's why we always seek for government partnership to help us educate our people, for people to understand that electricity is a product like any other product, and it does not come cheap.
Okay, one moment, sir. Tony has called in from the UK. He's watching the program. Good morning, Tony. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, morning. I just want to know how your visitor there. I just want to ask him.
Our guest.
What is? Hello, yeah, your guest. Yeah, I just want to ask him, as somebody who has been abroad, who knows more, why are we still having delays of having, constant electricity for everybody, despite this band A, band B, band C? I know your guest quite well, and I think he can do better for everybody there.
Okay. Okay. You have the UK example, and it's against that background that you are asking, when are, well, we become you people now, when are you people going to catch up?
Thank you very much. I lived in the UK for 32 years, 32 glorious years. And I can say that the difference between the Western countries and our country is that in the Western countries, when you collect your salaries or your wages for the month, the first thing you think about are your bills. Electricity bill, gas bill, council tax, and all the rest. In Nigeria, it is the other way around. It's part of what I was talking about when I was talking about the culture of non-payment.
Yes.
Then lack of enough investment. And investment is driven by cost recovery. And we don't have that in the UK. You cannot bypass without being caught. And if you are caught, you'll be dealt with. In Nigeria, if a big man bypasses and a big man is caught, and we have examples of that, we can be in court for the next 3 years. For some reasons, big men in Nigeria don't go to prison. Not many big men have gone to prison. Uncle, you go and check. From 1960 to date, how many big men have been jailed in Nigeria? Go to the US, go to the UK.
Yes.
There was a conservative minister in the UK who was a member of parliament during Mr. John Major, after Mrs. Thatcher.
Dennis Thatcher?
He was jailed. And, you know, they don't joke with the rule of law. In Nigeria, we joke with the rule of law. Big men get off the hook. So that is one of the problems. So service providers operating in this climate have a lot of problems to deal with. And that is why, when I was asked the question in the House of Rep, that why is it that we are supposed to have 24-hour electricity, privatization was not properly done. The privatization was done transparently. It was good. It was properly done. The thing that militated against privatization in this country in 2013 was that foreign investors refused to come and put their money in the Nigerian power sector. And they gave two reasons. One reason is that they said Nigeria was, they said Nigeria was a very corrupt country. Number two, they said Nigerian government does not respect the sanctity of contract. But I must say, between 2013 and today, and I've been a player all through, I can say this for a fact, things are better today than they were 5 years ago.
Okay.
So we are making progress. The only thing is that the progress we are making is still very slow. But when people hear Bande, they don't understand what it means. Bande is us inching towards 24-hour electricity. In other words, if you are a Bande customer, no government is subsidizing you. You are the only one who is paying the true cost of electricity. The others are subsidized by as much as 37% of their cost of energy. And the problem with Nigeria is that we do universal subsidy. Okay. Why should we be subsidizing Uncle Yori? Or Governor Sanwo-Olu?
You like doing this.
Just because Uncle Yori lives in a Bansi or Bandi environment.
You like doing this.
We just do blanket subsidy. Uncle Yori is a rich man. But we cannot be subsidizing people like you. We should be subsidizing unemployed people. We should be subsidizing the old. But in Nigeria, if they say they want to give subsidy to people over 70, people who are 50 will go and lie and fill a form that they are 70.
That's
the truth. We have problem.
The UK people are ready for you today. Wahab in Manchester, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Yes. I just want to talk to Mr. Oduto because I've seen him come to TVC News several times. I had an experience recently. My house is on Band A, and we have an old meter we got in the early 2000s. And we struggle to load the charging. And we've made an attempt to get that meter changed. No success. There are lots of hindrances. Recently, about 3 months ago, they just came and said they decommissioned the meter. And ever since that time, we have been extorted. The last time they said we should come and pay 400,000. We've applied for meters for a Band-Aid. It is just outrageous. A Band-Aid customer, and you are struggling to get the same good meter. Okay. In fact, I wrote a complaint recently, and they replied me that I should provide evidence. So I just want him to...
Oh,
Okay.
So sorry about that, but Wahab,
Yes.
we got the draft of.
Mr. Wahab.
He's going down to the granular
Yes,
level.
Mr. Wahab, first of all, I'm sorry that you experience this kind of thing. There's no excuse for it. And that's part of the areas and ways how and from where, as discos, we drop the ball. There's no excuse for this kind of thing. What I would advise you to do, please, since you have the number, you can actually call, leave your details with TVC or with Uncle Yori. I promise you I'll take it up personally. And it's unfortunate that
Because those kind of things ought not to be.
It should be automated. Once you are in Bande, you should not be suffering from no meter and then paying estimated bill. As a matter of fact, we should have a better system than we do. And sometimes people blame the MD of the disco, they blame some group head. It is the people in the middle level and lower level of our system. You send something to the MD will send it to those that are going to do it. A lot of people don't do what they are supposed to do. So we are guilty on that one. There's no other way. I'm not going to come here and begin to give you some stupid reasons why we are not doing what we should be doing. I think, and I have cases like that. So Bande customers have no reason to be on estimation.
Okay.
Then the issue of meter, let me confirm again, I've said this many times here. If your meter is 10 years old, it has got to the end of its lifespan. Meters have lifespan, just like carburetor or battery in your car.
But
it's 10 years.
But people are saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because the fixing it is getting a new one, which will now be generating a rate that is favorable to the distributor. And people are saying that this thing works. You said you said it is 10 years old.
Part of what I told a friend who had issue with Ikeja Electric regarding his house in Omole is that you as customer have no right to tell me as a service provider that your meter is working. We are not saying it is not working. We are saying the integrity of the meter is in doubt.
Okay.
It's a scientific thing.
Okay.
It can be tested right in your presence. And I want people to know there's nothing like my meter is running too fast. No. It is calibrated and programmed in a way that if your tariff is 209 or 205, that's what you'll be getting. If it's 68 naira, that's what you'll be getting. So there's nothing like the programming to work too fast. Again, that's what I'm saying. For our people that live in the UK or in the US, they know that they don't talk about my meter is running fast. They know that these things are not cheap.
Yeah.
Electricity is a product that is very expensive. We all have to agree that it will take time. And this journey, this privatization journey, is a journey that takes a long time. So we also have our own fault. Sometimes we are not efficient enough. It is the issue of efficiency that leads to all these fractures. Some of them are avoidable, and we learn our lesson. We also
some don't take very kindly. Some don't take very kindly to all your efforts. I recall when you came here and you're telling us the trauma that workers, experienced at the hands of some military customers.
Yes.
That you dare not do what you want to do, which is take steps to ensure that you are paying. And if those steps include, you will not be supplied until you actually begin to pay part of what you owe.
Yes.
They didn't like that, for example. I hope that matter was resolved.
Oh, the one with the military was resolved at a huge cost to Ikeja Electric and a co-distribution, because we have one in Badagry, Soja, the one in Ikeja, Air Force people. We had to install a state-of-the-art, very expensive, millions of naira worth of a system whereby with the press of a button in Alausa, they can disconnect, they can put on the light or put it off in Air Force Base without going there. Because they were beating us.
Yes. Yeah,
now we have to pay over 40 million just for 1 meter, one system that can enable automation that we don't need to fight.
So
and now
thank you very much for letting us
bills,
yes.
And we're happy.
Thanks for letting us know. We won't be tired of hearing it, and I'm sure you won't be tired of saying it because it's an incremental journey, but you are resolute in getting, as it were, to the peak, so to speak. I want to thank you very much, Chief Sunday Oduta, CEO, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, for coming to our studio. Yet again, we really do appreciate it. Okay, so that's our program. Well, do join us on Monday. The next day we will be out there. Do have a great weekend. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.
Wherever we go, we carry the taste of home with us. Because, as everyone knows, it's never just food. It's moments shared and memories made. And no matter where we are, it's the things we share that keep us together. Remitly, every transfer brings you closer.
In a world where news never sleeps, we're taking a giant leap into the future. We at TVC Communications are proud to introduce a new era in news broadcasting. But first, let me introduce my special friend, Olamide AI. Hi, Olamide Human. Is it time to come out yet? Yes, indeed it is. And you can bring your friends along. Meet our new AI anchors, speaking your language and sharing your stories. From English, good day. These are the news headlines, to Pidgin.
Better country people, on a good evening.
Yoruba, Ekaro, Ekudede Asikoyi, Shidadalabayi, Igbo,
Ndewo, Auto Innovation, Ahambu Obada Samson Ejiro,
and Hausa.
Mutane na sanar da zuwa, sunana Rakiya Abdulkarim kuma kana kallon TVC News.
We are bringing the news closer to you. Faster, smarter, and always reliable. And together, we are shaping the future of news for every Nigerian, everywhere. Innovation, connection, and trust. The future of news is here.
TVC News, first with breaking news. And now first in Nigeria with AI news anchors.
Breaking news is not just about the headlines. It is the ripple effects of the headlines. It is the ability to connect the dots of anger, grief, pain, repression, hope, and triumph. It is staying on the story till attention is gotten and action is taken. When we say at TVC News, we are first with breaking news. It is not just a position. It is a philosophy, a principle, and a culture.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Honey, what time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Albert Chinua Lumogu Achebe was born November 16, 1930 in Ogidi, Nigeria. He went to Government College in Umuahia, Nigeria. In 1948, Achebe won a scholarship to the University of Ibadan to study medicine, but after a year, he changed his major to writing. After graduation in 1953, he became a script writer for the Nigerian Broadcasting Service (NBS), eventually becoming the head programmer for the discussion series. In 1956, he visited London for the first time to take a training course with the BBC. On returning, he moved to Enugu and edited and produced stories for the NBS. Achebe was unhappy with books about Africa written by British authors such as Joseph Conrad and John Buchan because he felt the descriptions of African people were inaccurate and insulting. In his spare time, he worked on Things Fall Apart. The novel was published in 1958. The book
at TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, First with breaking news.
Just like the Tangle people of Kaltungo believed that their ancestors descended from the mountaintop, the reputation for the treatment of snake bites has been passed down for generations. Kaltungo has an ideal environment for snakes to thrive. Rocks and hills, water, lots of green vegetation, and abundant food in rats attracted by household waste and farm produce. The Snakebite Treatment Center was established in 1958 as a ward by the Sudan Interior Mission. It has grown over the past 67 years into a full hospital and research center, handling an average of 2,500 snakebite cases every year. The first time I came to the then Snakebite Treatment Ward under the Kaltungo General Hospital was 8 years ago. The facility was in deplorable condition. The wards were dirty and overcrowded. Even the kitchen was used as a ward where patients lay on the floor without windows. The condition will break even the hardest heart.
I called the federal government that they should be trying to build more place more than this. Because the hospital is very small, very little. People here were too much. No accommodation. See where am I now? It's the kitchen. This is where they fire the cook. Because there's no accommodation that we now here. So they want to cook now. There's no any place to cook here at all. Now we buy. In the morning, afternoon, night. You must go and buy. So the one that the soup I bring from home is now keeping. There's no people I will put fire and cook it. So I must go and buy with money before I eat.
In 2017, the only doctor handling the hundreds of patients described how he could not go on leave as there was no doctor to relieve him. A few weeks leave means dozens, even hundreds of patients may die.
There is nothing like going on leave. Because when there is federal government stock or state government stock, you don't go out at all. You need to see that all the patients that are admitted get the drug that are specified for them. And you need to check the register of these patients and the time of administration of this drug and the dose, that is amount of vial given. So there is no time for you to go on leave or go on maybe a break.
The last time I came, the facility was much different compared to this. But Gombe State government says that it has invested significantly to upgrade it. It's now time to see if the upgrade is just superficial or really holistic. The facilities are far better. It is now a full hospital and research center with several large, well-ventilated wards, treatment rooms, increased staff strength, 24-hour solar power, functional pharmacy, and office spaces.